My name is William Britton. I was in the United States Navy, and when I last cut my affiliation with the Navy, I was lieutenant. We went into the fleet. We cruised northern Europe on a goodwill tour. Had a really good time. We came back and we were given orders to join the Sixth Fleet, which was in the Mediterranean. So we were steaming independently. We left Norfolk and going over to the Mediterranean. We were involved in a tremendous storm, and I was in my stateroom. It must have been 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. All of a sudden there was a huge crash. What happened? A rogue wave broke over the top of our ship. I mean, it broke way up on the top of the radar mast, and this huge mountain of water came down, and it crushed the superstructure. On the main deck, we had the galley, and I had these. My crew was as supply officer. They were there making bread for early morning chow, and all of the equipment was sheared off, came across, and it ended up killing 3 of my crew. They didn't die right away, but we went forward. We took the wardroom and turned that into a sick bay. And man, I'd never encountered anything like this before. And here two of my crewmen were all cut, bleeding, and dying in my arms. That was a terrible experience. The point I want to make is, even today, there's no shooting war going on, but there are a lot of training exercises, whether it's in the Army, the Marines, the Coast Guard, the Navy, whatever it is, and those people are putting their lives on the line, even though they're not be shooting at them. Weather, equipment breakdown, you're always at risk. We were severely damaged. This was the Manley when we were going over to join the Sixth Fleet. I mean, we had wounded on board, we had dead on board, so we couldn't make it back to the U.S. The closest port was Gibraltar. So we pulled in to Gibraltar to make emergency repairs so we could get back to the States. And I had to meet with my counterpart in the British Navy. And they had a big naval installation there, big shipyard. So our galley was out. We couldn't feed anybody. So I had to make arrangements with the British Navy to feed the crew. And so at the conclusion of the negotiation, the captain, the British naval captain, said to me, "Now, you understand that part of the British ration is a rum. So you're paying for your crew to have to be served at our mess. Do you want your men to be served a ration of rum with their meal?" And I said, "You betcha." Well, it turned out that was a pretty good thing, because the British idea of food on board hadn't changed much since the 1600s. You know, it was really lousy stuff. And they would serve for breakfast oily fish. And I really went out of our way to serve our crew. You know, I figured they should get the best food the Navy could put out. But they were always complaining. But here we go into Gibraltar and get this oily food. So they told me afterwards, Mr. Britton, we can't wait to get your chow. But another interesting story, we finally had our all the repairs made, and we were ready to go back to the States. But I had to get fresh meat and all. So the closest U.S. installation was over in Africa, Port Lyote, and so I bummed a ride on an airplane and went over to Port Lyote, and I got all of the fresh provisions. Well, Port Lyote was a big stopping off point, both from the States to Europe, as well as from Europe back to the States. And airplanes were really in a very scarcity. Fortunately, when I departed to go over there, since I was running the ship's store, I loaded up in my bag several boxes of golf balls. So when I had to meet with the Air Force officers that would assign me a plane, I had these golf balls. And believe it or not, those golf balls got me head of the line to get an airplane to haul the meat back. So here we were. This airport was huge, and this very large airplane was sitting out in the middle of this tarmac. And here comes the reefer truck with all of our meat to come to the airplane. And the turkey that was driving the reefer truck, with all the space in the world, makes a sharp turn. He takes the tail off the plane. So here I've got a truckload of frozen meat. I've got to get back to Gibraltar. And I'm already not a very popular guy with the air control officers there, because I took a plane that they wanted to use for something else. So here, I took a plane out of action, not me, but so I fortunately had enough golf balls left over. I got another plane. Okay, so that was my story on the destroyer.